Hi, so this is my reflective presentation for real world technologies. My name is Ivan Mahalovic, and this is the presentation that reflects the reflective paper that we had to write about our readings throughout this semester. So, starting about this, you have to think about education as starting from when we were brought up and how we were raised. When we think about our education and learning from the time we were in kindergarten until the end of college, we have to see how we were built to learn and the opportunities that we were given to learn, either in school by our parents or by our experiences that we had. And these experiences will greatly depend on our parents, our income, and our location. And this could lead to vastly different styles of learning and ways that we express our knowledge through creativity and many other factors. Um, my upbringing has led to the way I learn and study throughout my years in college. Even though I do not believe that this shone through early in my education, as it took me quite a while to really find my ambition for learning. So first, I want to talk about your innovation as a learner. About myself, I will go to great lengths to learn something if I need to, and will do my best to succeed in doing that. I take a very straightforward approach with my learning, pretty much pure repetition and memorization until I know it. The issue is the flip side to this. If I don't feel like I need to know something, I tend to slack off a lot on it, to be quite honest with myself. And to further back this up, I think that innovation as a learner is very important, and whether or not you innovate to learn can vastly affect how you will succeed at any given task. In a survey of my peers that I did with my team, 80% of the 20 respondents I had responded that they were innovative learners. I used a very open ended question, kind of left it up to them to decide what they thought was innovative, and that was how they replied with 16 out of 20. The next is creativity. So, creativity in learning and in education and in your personal life are vastly different things, I believe. In education, I see myself as being very good at the maths and sciences, but when it comes to open-ended sort of works such as art or writing, I do not see myself as creative. But yet, in math and science, there are many opportunities where you have to be creative to get to a singular final answer. And sometimes there's different ways, and this is found mostly through problem solving. And creatively solving problems is vastly different than creatively writing a paper or making a great piece of artwork. So, and leading that into my personal life, I don't think I'm very creative in my personal life. Being straightforward and laid out is where I know I will succeed. And I don't think that this is necessarily a big deal, regardless of where you are. But when I surveyed the same group of people for my team, 20 out of 20 responded yes to being creative in either their personal life or educational life. And I think this really shows because creativity can be many different things. And I truly believe that, and that everyone is creative in their own way. And now for allowed creativity in learning. Um, I do not believe my education has allowed me to be creative per se. As I said before, problem solving, I believe, is creativity in itself, but I do not believe that I had ample opportunity to be creative in other ways because I was pushed so heavily towards math through the way that my school district worked from kindergarten through 12th grade, and then specifically majoring in mathematical finance in college has also led to sort of writing being and art being a passive part of what I do and not actively what I'm trying to do. Um, Almost half of my survey agreed to answering the same question, if they were allowed to be creative when they were learning, with 9 of 20 saying that they had and 11 of 20 saying they hadn't. And just to finish up, I was on a math and science track compared to an arts and writing track, and I believe this took away a lot of my chances to be openly creative, but it has helped my problem solving process greatly. Next is rubrics and following directions. So I strictly follow most rubrics on projects I undertake, as do the majority of people that responded to my survey, with 14 out of 20 to be exact. And I believe this is because I would not be comfortable with receiving a lower grade because of me, quote unquote, risk taking. And if you follow a rubric to a T, there's really no way you can go wrong. Whereas if you go off base, it's a high risk, high reward kind of thing. And when it's something as high stakes as grades are, I feel like taking that risk is not worth it. And when in school, even though we're looking to learn as much as possible, at the end of the day, I can say the majority of people are worried about coming out with the highest GPA they can. Um, and this, I don't believe, can be achieved by deviating from the rubric. Doing what a professor wants is what a professor wants. So um, I believe that that is true. And to be specific, I'm doing that right now with this paper and project. Um, and then thinking differently, this about like after this writing, I believe this writing has not caused me to think differently about my creative or educational choices explicitly. I do not know if it will flesh out in the future, but I feel as I'm very stuck in my ways right now because it's worked so far. I don't think we have to reinvent the wheel if it's not working. And I believe that there have been some things that have changed organically over time with my learning. Um, but I would rather that be the case than to base an entire paradigm shift off of one reading. Thank you for listening to my presentation.